Yeah, this match review first comes to us from Johan, who has around 200 hours in DBD, so fairly fresh, fairly new to the game. I know it's kind of scary to see. Wow, you have 200 hours? You're fairly new. Yeah, but that's how that goes. I usually don't start taking people seriously until I see around that 1K hour mark. You are playing Fredward, and you are playing them on a map of some sort. A map of all time. Suffocation Pit. Both variations are not particularly very kind to killer. At least Suffocation Pit is at least an eye-shaped map in one of its variations. But Suffocation Pit is typically, more celebrated as a survivor map, and with good reason. You are also playing Freddy, who, despite, a potential rework down the pipeline that they're talking about, is not a very good character, probably bottom 10 in the game. His power is just very, very underwhelming, whether you use pallets or snares, and you should definitely be using snares, even though those are still underwhelming. So you got that working against you. So let's go ahead and take a look at your add-ons and your tweaks. Okay, so you have Red Paintbrush, which is probably Freddy's, honestly, to be brutally honest, probably his only good add-on, so good thing you're running that. Unfortunately, it's an Eerie. You are using Paint Thinner, which is a palette thing. I wouldn't do pallets. Pallets are the fun add-on, but they are not the good add-on. That being said, like I said, Eerie Paintbrush is kind of his only good add-on, so, run anything else, like the dress or something. Don't run... pallets are fun. The Dream pallets are fun, but the snares are just better, so giving up your snares is, it's just kind of what it is. In terms of your build, you're running triple slowdown, which usually I kind of, give people crap for because, well, it's a little bit of a training wheels thing to be running triple slowdown on any killer. Kind of starts making the perks play the game for you instead of, actually improving on your own. But you're also playing a bottom 10 killer, so I'm just going to kind of the other way. Jolt and Sloppy make sense because you are an M1 killer, so all of your attacks end in M1, so you'll be applying those both with these. Dead Man's makes sense in the idea that you will be teleporting to gens and knocking people off, or even if you're faking the teleport, if people hesitate or get scared by your fake teleport and get off, you can get Dead Man's value. If you're really wanting really cool value out of Dead Man's with this, Class Photo, great option. The one that shows that you shows you teleporting to every gen. That would be a good one. There you go, Luffle. There's the link for the match review. Also, if you are watching on YouTube in the future, the link is in the description of every single video to submit a match review if you would like to. So it's always down there. Every video, even if it's not a match review video, it's always down there. But yeah, barbecue's good info. Perk still is, even in 2023. So your build's pretty good. So yeah. Okay, I want to tell you right now, this may seem minor that I'm already getting on your case about something, but this stuff matters. So you spawn facing the shack, right? Wow, we just Freddy's leathery shoulder here. You spawn facing the shack, and this is a rough spawn in terms of a beginning game for Dead by Daylight. Because you as killer, typically you go out in front of you in an upside down triangle, I like to say. So look at the little arrow down here where it says scroll for details. So you typically, as killer, when you spawn, you go in an upside down triangle. So from this arrow all the way to this corner, scan anywhere in this area to this corner and all the way back down. In this little upside down triangle, there's probably somebody you spawned. But you got one of those really wonky spawns where you spawned at the dead middle of the map, which is not good. It's very bad RNG. So you kind of just have to commit to a side and search. You don't do that. You kind of just wander around back and forth in the center of the map, which is, they're not there, so don't do that. Definitely commit to a side to check, or an area to check. Hey Shushi, how's it going? How are you, friend? How was your Monday? Yeah, you kind of just wander around in the middle of stuff a bit for some reason. I don't know why you do that. Okay, homie just spawned right next to you, so you're very lucky you find somebody early. That does not usually happen. Okay. He's throwing pallets while healthy. I would have just kicked that. Yeah. I would just kick that. You're an M1 killer, and you have pallets, so there's not really a reason to leave pallets up. I notice you like to mind game a lot, but this Adam isn't really responding to your mind games. Mind games are for people who are paying attention. That might be a takeaway, not just for you particularly. If you continue to repeat it, it will be a takeaway for you. But this is just a takeaway for all of you at home. Mind games work on people who are paying attention. I'm sure you guys have had somebody DC and you've been facing a bot and the bot just like loops the hell out of you for no reason. It's because bots don't pay attention to mind games because they're computers. Right? Certain players are like that. Certain players are like bots. They don't pay attention. This Adam's just kind of on rails. He's doing his thing. So this whole like I'm gonna back up, I'm gonna walk around the long wall here, like this, all these mind games you're doing. The Adam isn't paying attention. So you're doing all these mind games for essentially no reason. Your mind games are there for you to confuse a survivor who's trying to trick you. You said, okay, I'll trick you back and I'll get closer so I can get the hit. That's what that's for. When you're mind gaming people who aren't paying attention, you're essentially just, what you're doing here is creating extra distance in the chase for no reason to, like, I don't know, try and show off or something. It's not fulfilling the job you think it is. It's never like when I'm like just doing my own thing. So you do finally get him, but that was a pretty long chase. You start chase with him. Yeah, that was almost like a minute long chase. That was not too efficient. You probably could have got the down quicker by not mind gaming so much. But just keep that in mind. Okay, everybody's here. Literally everyone. In this situation where you have a survivors unhook with you, like literally right there, don't let them do that. That's an incredibly risky play, and it's not your job as the killer to, like, you know, let them, you know, just get away with that. Breaking up the... Okay, back to hook. Let me explain. Plum, thank you for the hook. I appreciate that. Back to hooking is like something that is not really required. It's usually a really, really sweaty tactic that's mostly employed by people, you know, in like more serious settings. But there's something to be said for breaking up the heal. Especially when you're using a perk like Sloppy Butcher, which has hemorrhage, which when you break up the heal, they have to restart their heal. Making sure survivors don't heal up is good for you. So especially when they just like unhook with you right there, definitely like go after the unhooker and make sure that they don't heal up. I would not have gone after these two. I would have punished the person that just farmed directly right there. Hey, that worked. Good job. See, this Nancy's a good person to do mind games on because she's paying attention. Adam was not paying attention, so you're not like... I'm gonna say you should put that down. There you go. See, because now Adam's... Like, you have Sloppy Butcher, but like... Adam's healed up now. Now, there's the mangled aspect, so it did take them longer to do, so there was kind of slowdown just inherently built in there. But in terms of hemorrhage, you got no value out of the hemorrhage aspect of the perk because you just kind of let them go over and heal by themselves. Which, you know, when you're in a situation like this, where you're trying to get value out of Sloppy, especially the M1 killer, you got to get the mostest out of it. I would cool it on the mind games. I think this is going to be a takeaway. I feel like, yeah, I get it, you're playing an M1 killer, but like you don't even like, you just kind of like mind game things. You don't even wait to see if they're paying attention. You don't wait to see if like it's going to work. You just kind of like go, okay, I'm going to do this. I don't know if you've like, I know you only have 200 hours. So most of your mind games are probably happening because you've like watched a streamer do this mind game and you're like, oh, that was really good. I'm going to do that. But like we were saying earlier, mind games are for the people who are paying attention. I would contextualize your mind games. That's a nice ring to it. I would contextualize your mind games. Like Nancy, when you mind gamed her at the long wall, she got a little confused, didn't know where to go. You didn't get the hit on her right away, but you didn't end up getting a hit on her. Just really good. At Shaq, she's paying attention. Probably not gonna be able to mind game.
33 months, my friend. It
That's
is always fun to see this come up every time. Just happy to be a part of your community, and I appreciate your help in pushing me into streaming. So thank you for all you do.
I'm pushing you, bruh. You know, blunt force trauma. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for the 33 months and at tier 2, which is way more than I deserve. Way, way more than I deserve, friend. Thank you. Why does she run into you like that? Hello? Well, how about you? I am emotionally well. Physically, I'm still a bit sick. But I'm good enough to be streaming, so... You could have been more patient there. You could have hit that. Hey! Big pallet value. Because what you're doing by having all these, like, mind games that aren't necessarily landing right away is that you're extending all your chases by, like, 10, 15 seconds. Which adds up over time, because match time is gen time. So, okay, yeah. With these guys, they're clearly just farming. Like, the moment you even slightly get even remotely, like, 2 feet away, they're just yoinking people off hooks. So you gotta start punishing from that. Gotta start breaking up the heels at the very least. Just at least chase the unhooker, so they know they can't do that. You gotta be a little bit more patient with that. I know you're on console, but you gotta be more patient. Yeah. You gotta be a little bit more patient with those. I don't know if you're aware of this, but you don't really look at your barbecue. And obviously, if you only have 200 hours, you may be new to killer or new to using this perk in general, but like, I notice you don't really look at your barbecue. you should definitely be doing that. That's the point of barbecue, is like, and why it's still a good perk in 2023 is because you can see what's happening far away and keep in your flow of chase. And especially when you're using Deadmans on Freddy, you see what gen they're on far away, fake the teleport. Hopefully it wraps the gen with Deadmans. But like, you're kind of not looking at your barbecue, which means you're not getting the most out of your one of your perks. I would definitely break that breakable wall. There you go. That window is really, really strong, even with that door down, much less with it up. I would definitely get rid of that. You could have gotten that. It would have been barely a miss or barely a hit, depending on her ping. But I wouldn't went for that. See, like, they're healing literally over to the right. Like, that unhook just happened, and they're healing right in front of you. You gotta contest that stuff. You cannot let them do that in front of your face. You got spun. If you feel like you're gonna get spun on console, just back up. Just back up and watch them spin in your face and then hit them. Yeah, they just healed right next to you. Like, literally within 5 meters of you, they just healed up. I would not. I would stop letting them get away with that. Because like I said earlier, half of the sloppy equation is hemorrhage. I don't know why he's not paying attention. You're getting value out of the mangle, but not the hemorrhage aspect of the perk. Which is, you know, better than vice versa, because the mangle is more effective than the hemorrhage, but still, you're only getting value like half of your perk's effects. Yeah, because you do the same mind game you did on Nancy against this Adam at that long wall, but you know Adam doesn't pay attention. So I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Like, you're doing the same mind games that worked on her against him, but you know he doesn't pay attention. So, like, there's no reason you should be doing the same mind games. Because mind games work differently on different people. Nice. Nice. On console? That was good to do. Catching a spin like that is hard on console. You could have hit her. What? Wait. She fakes the window. You walk one more foot, enter a lunge, and she's down. Why are you moonwalking the entire length of a long wall instead of just lunging? Alrighty then. Okay. Alrighty then. Huh. And now you're vaulting the long wall. She didn't even go that way. She's still on the long wall. For reference, she should be down right now. You had her within lunge distance. But because you went into mind game again, she's, now she's not. About to say, as Freddy or any M1 killer, you kind of don't want to play pallets like that. See, like, it works on her. Like, here's what I'm saying. Like, the idea of, like, using mind games is not bad. Because on, like, this Nancy, it works because she's paying attention. Nia was not. Adam is not. So doing those mind games on these, on like, those players is actually costing you. You should, so, like, for example, like, against Adam, next chase, well, you're probably not going to because this is in the past. But, like, if this was acting in a live time and I was over your shoulder coaching, I'd be like, okay, just W key at him. Force the pallet down, W key at him. And then when you get back to Nancy, I'd be like, okay, well, go back to the mind games. It's a person-by-person basis. Person who's paying attention just after failing a mind game. Okay, so this is how you tell me, man. So, perfect example is this mind game that was just successful here. Because, like, this Freddy has already found out that Nancy doesn't do well with long wall mind games because he's done a mind game before and already gotten a hit on her. So what they do is they show the red stain around this corner to bait her into vaulting, which ends up working, gets the down, right? However, 714, remember that. Let's go back to the Atom. Go back to the Atom real quick. Nancy's super aware. Nancy's like looking at him, making decisions based off of what the Freddy is doing. What does Adam do when Adam's in chase? Let's go all the way back to the first one, because you lost a lot of time on that first chase. I want you to look and see if Adam like looks at the Freddy at any point during this chase. We're not gonna watch the whole chase again. Does Adam at any point look backwards? Or is he just kind of like, me drop pallet, me run to next resource? Does he ever look behind him even? Is he having any responsive stimuli to like anything that we in the first person here are doing? No. He's just like, he's like an on-rails shooter, right? Like he is on a set track, he is going to do his thing. So mind gaming this guy doesn't make sense because he's not paying attention. Whereas Nancy's trying to react to what we're doing. So you can kind of trick her into doing something that's not beneficial to her because she's trying to make informed decisions. Where Adam's just trying to, I don't know, book it and play safe. That's how you tell. At least one of the ways. But the problem is the Freddy is applying the same blanket playstyle to all four survivors when they're playing differently. Which is not good. I say he shouldn't make anything. It's kind of funny. There's a lot of overlap orb between like people playing like super safely on purpose versus people like just kind of like people playing super safely on purpose versus just kind of like being new and being scared. It's like one of those curve charts, you know? Pre-drop pallet and W because I'm scared. Try to loop, try to greed pallet, and then it comes back down and it's like pre-drop W key pallet because it's the safest option, you know? See, once again, you're mind gaming somebody who... Okay. Alright. You hear Adam to your left. You hear Adam to your left. You hear Adam to your left and he's injured. Why are you leaving? Okay, he's already healed up. That's also true, Janu. That's another reason that fake pounce is kind of like not really in your best interest. Because people will start re-dropping to be safe, which is not very much like a good play. I do that too. You know? Sometimes I'll play as Leon just so people chase me because they think I'm bad. It's a mind game. Once again, you're mind gaming Adam, who you know doesn't really react to your mind games. You do get the hit, but at what cost is the question. You also hear somebody coming up from a beamer safe, so be careful. You do not hear them coming. You heard them. You heard them coming. You heard them running up. You heard their footsteps, but you picked up anyway. You know, even if you didn't hear them, you know 2 people in this lobby have flashlights. Even if you didn't hear them, you should be suspecting that they're hovering. So, yeah. The slinger review, yeah. That one was a little bit more understandable because it was like, it was still not the right play, but it was at least because it was like, you know, like their 1 kill. They really wanted their 1 kill. That had a little bit more like of a mindset behind it I could understand. You see them you see 2 people hopping on the gen and to your right. Don't commit to this chase on Nia. Especially with Adam injured. With Adam injured, you down the Adam, you get a jolt on this gen. And that regresses that a bit. Yeah, like... That fake teleport doesn't do anything because you don't even have dead man's up. Yeah, go get your jolt on this gen. There you go. There you go. So you know she's hovering. Yeah, go chase her. You don't even have, yeah, I'm about to say, you don't even have, there you go, do a fake. There you go. You don't even have to like chase and down her. You just gotta like ward her away. Get her in an awkward position where she can't get the save. And honestly, if this Nia is just hovering for the flashlight save. Okay, you're making me nauseous. Hey, you got her to show herself? Like, if she's hovering for the save, she's not doing a gen. That's fine. You have them playing to you and not the other way around. Yeah, I get to jolt the gen again. If you were more patient. Jolt the gen again. There you go. Easy peasy. Okay, if they keep doing this, and if they keep taking downs, they're just deleting that gen. Nobody's on a gen right now. Wow, that hit. That is Pocos. I'd be mad. Eventually I would pick up though. It's kind of like a yeah, I'm about to say, you kind of end up in a weird situation where if you bait too much, you give them positioning for the save. So don't overcommit to the bait. Because you spend too much time on it, they get to position well for a save. That's one of the things that makes saves possible. Is like just the positioning aspect of it, and your counterplay is killer. Just pushing them into an awkward position does a lot in the way of stopping flash hits from happening. Which is why background player is really, really good, because that helps kind of offset that lack of positioning, because you can just zoom into position. It's still very niche. Do you only do match reviews on Monday? Yeah. Once a week. I don't know how you missed that. I don't know how, this is probably one of those barely win matches, because you were jolting the heck out of these gens. These two are right next to each other, and they are not working on the one far away, which is what they should be doing. This is them playing poorly, not you playing, well, and I don't mean that I mean, you are playing well in the sense that you are taking advantage of their mistake, but it is their mistake, if that makes sense. Sharp pallet out of the way. What this Survivor team should be doing is going cross map to the other gen, because they're not 3-gen. They're acting like they're 3-gen and they're not. Like, they're acting like they're 3-gen and they're not. Yeah, honestly, if you had one less slowdown in this match, you probably would have lost. This is why I tell people not to run 3 slowdown. Because it kind of plays the game for you to a certain extent. So I tell people not to do it. Because you're essentially getting away with really inefficient chases. But you shouldn't. Okay, this match goes on for like another 5 minutes. I mean, this match is kind of just like a foregone conclusion at this point. Because you just chase them down. Yeah, there's not much they can really do. So it's... yeah, you get the 4K here, it looks like. Or 3K with a hatch. Okay, so first off, this is why I tell people not to run 3 slowdown. Because you should have lost this match, and you learn nothing here by winning this match when you should have lost. You learn nothing here by winning this match when you should have lost. So anything, it reinforces bad habits that that you should be unlearning. And the only reason your brain should be ticking like, hey, something's wrong, I should be playing more consistently or better, is by having negative results. So by padding your build really tough like this, it's covering blind spots in areas you still need to learn. So I would definitely take off one of these, probably Dead Man's, to be honest with you, and put something else there. In terms of your main takeaways, the first one and the most obvious one, the one we kept harping on the entire time, you don't understand what mind games are for. You just kind of blanket statement them to every survivor. Mind games work on survivors that are paying attention, like survivors that are looking behind them, trying to react to your plays. Those are the, like the Nancy. The Nancy was a perfect example. You made successful mind games on her, but you applied this as like a blanket gameplay style to every survivor, and it extended a lot of your chases to a minute plus, to like the Nia, to like the Adam, because even though they weren't particularly playing well, no offense to the players, they were getting so much value because you, like, especially painful, the one where you had the long wall chase with Nia, where you literally had to walk one more foot and then she was in lunge distance, but you decided to moonwalk the entire length of the long wall just cause, for like no reason. She was literally, if you took one step forward, she was in lunge distance. But you decided to long wall, like moonwalk an entire length of a long wall, which just doesn't make any sense. There was no reason to do that there. So you were literally artificially extending all of your chases for no reason, just because you weren't picking up the info, right? Like, Nancy said, hey, okay, mind games work on me, and you said, message received. I'm going to keep doing the mind games. Adam and Nia weren't looking behind them really, and when they were, it was very, sporadic. Mind games weren't working on them, but you didn't pick up what they were putting down. You're like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep doing them anyway. I would try to make your mind games more purposeful and try to adapt to, okay, I'm only going to do mind games on the survivors who are paying attention to mind games and reacting to my mind games. If they're not, I should just be playing more aggressive, just W king at them, force the pallet down, just go for the M1. Because I don't think you understand the purpose of mind games at this point, which, but at the hours you're at is fine. That's understandable. But yeah, you need to not do that. I think another big thing I saw, and this will be your second takeaway, is you don't contest hook saves at all. Like I said, this isn't, I'm not training you for like some super sweaty, intense environment or something. I'm not telling you to go back to hook every single time. But almost consistently this entire match, survivors were just like unhooking right next to you and healing the full duration of a mangled heal right next to you. You gotta break up those heals. That is a risky play. It's a risky play to unhook somebody even in terror radius. And they were unhooking like 10 meters off, 5 meters off. And you were just kind of like, man, whatever. You guys heal up, reset, that's fine. You should be letting them do that. That is a risky play on their part. Go break up the heal. You don't have to tunnel the guy that just came off hook. You can go after the unhooker. You can do that. But keeping him injured, especially with the Perk Sloppy Butcher, very, very important as a playstyle. And you just kind of weren't doing that at all. And letting them farm right next to you. Punish them for that. Punish them for that. There's a lot of other minor stuff, but a lot of that will come as you like get better at the game, just as you play the game more and get more used to it, which is fine. That's why I'm not going to bring a lot of it up. But those main two are the ones I would focus on right now, just so you're not like too overwhelmed. Those main two would be the two ones that I would focus on in terms of like getting better right away.